Hey, good afternoon. It's Dr. Tyler here. Just want to share with you an amazing testimony that I received. And it's not an unusual testimony. It's like a lot of the stories we hear uh, at the office, but this one's really special. I just want to share it with you. And the way it goes is this gentleman just talks about how when he was 14, he used to have back pain, and he worked in a general store and was lifting heavy bags and cases, and just believed that those issues came with that type of work. And when he would go to the doctor, his parents would take him to their medical doctor, and the medical doctor would give them medications, muscle relaxants, painkillers. And in the early 1960s, when all this started, chiropractic wasn't even a thought of an option of a place to go. And over the years, and as you guys know, that if you don't ever correct the cause of the problem, what will happen? It just gets worse. And so over the years, his back would give him problems 2 or 3 times a year, and more medications, more painkillers, more muscle relaxants, and it would even cause him to miss a couple weeks of work. And it wasn't until the early 1980s that he was introduced to chiropractic. His employer at the time, his wife was going to the chiropractor, and this patient had been suffering for quite some time, and his employer said, well, enough's enough. You're going with my wife. She has an appointment to see your chiropractor, and you're going. And so really there wasn't an option, and almost there was a forcing for him to go, but not because they were trying to control, but just because they cared. And so anyway, this client went to see the chiropractor, overcame fears, and his life was changed. And he went from having pain to feeling better in the matter of weeks, in ways that the medication wasn't able to touch. And so the other thing he goes on to say is that he started taking his children to the chiropractor every time he went, because he didn't want his children having the same fear of seeing the chiropractor that he had growing up, and didn't want his children to be afraid of seeing the chiropractor. And then it was just a matter of when he entered into our clinic in the early 2000s, we were able to introduce him to chiropractic, not just as a matter of pain relief, but a lifestyle, and just the truth that your brain and nervous system controls everything from above, down, inside out, and it's about taking care of your spine and nervous system to maximize health and healing for a lifetime. And really at that point he comments that he sees things continuing to change. And as he comes in for his weekly adjustment, he says his back, it may still give him problems, every couple of years, but when it does, it doesn't last for weeks like it used to. It may last for a few days. And the reason I share that story is that's my dad, and I just can't help to think where he would be if he didn't step through his fears, what his life would have looked like if he didn't see the chiropractor back in the 1980s, where he'd be 40 years later. I can't help to think of what would my life look like if he hadn't gone. And for all the people that we've been able to help here, what would your lives look like? What would be happening if that truth never was told? And so my challenge to you this week is, who do you know that needs to hear the truth? Who do you know that needs to be reached out to with the life-changing message of chiropractic and the body's ability to heal from above, down, inside out? And maybe it's just a gentle prompting that you need to share with them, but sometimes maybe it's just, you know what, I'm taking you. Sometimes just because we care so much, it requires that kind of effort. And so my challenge this week is, who do you know? Who do you know that needs hope and help this week? And so I just want to say thank you, Dad, for sharing your story. Thank you for stepping through your fears. It's so amazing just to see how your life's changed, but to see how that one decision changed so many lives. And so we just thank you. Have an amazing day, guys.